Hi guys, it's Wita and I'm here with my Himi gouache. I bought this a year ago and I had a lot of fun painting with it, and then I put it up and I didn't get it out for a year. So I opened it up yesterday and found out that I had some dried gouache. So I'm going to see if I can put this more in the frame. And I put in to every single cup an eighth of a teaspoon of water, and it worked great on some of them. Some of them that was all they needed, but on others I think I'm going to need more. So this one, okay, that's not nice and juicy. That needed more water, so I put some more water in it right now. And I apologize for not showing that. I'll show you what I did elsewise, but then I stuck my finger straight into my gouache, and rather than have you guys watch me try to clean that off, we just decided to start over. So I've already added more water. I am using this, and I added quite a good bit. So this one is a little juicier than that one, but it's still not very juicy. So here I go. I'm going to put a good bit in. And that's a good bit. So I'm going to leave that to sit overnight, and then I'm going to mix it up. Now, I discovered something when I was working on this green one. I opened it up this morning after I had put the teaspoon in, and I was working on the green one, and you can see this is a mess. It's a mess, and I've cleaned it up. It was much worse. So when you go to mix it up, what you want to do is not stick your finger in the gouache like I keep doing, but pick up, let's see if I can get this one up, pick up the jelly cup and work. This one does not want to come up. There we go. Okay, so again, it looks like that teaspoon of water mixed in quite well, and now looking at this, yes, I have a nice juicy jelly cup of gouache again, and this is beautiful, and I want to use it. It's nice and wet, and that's how I like to work with this jelly gouache. I like it because it is juicy. So again, that was a year old, and all I did was put in an eighth of a teaspoon of water, let it sit overnight, and mix it up. Now this one, I can still see water standing, and that, I don't want to mix it up, remove it from the cup, because otherwise you get jelly gouache everywhere. I really did. And this one feels, I don't know, this may be fine. I was going to say it wasn't going to be good, and I may add a little bit more water, just a touch, because this feels a little bit thicker. And try and mix it up good. I don't want it to dry out. I need to keep an eye on it and give it a spritz every now and then, and I think it will be just fine. But I did leave it for a year, and it is coming together very nicely. I'm going to put just a touch of water in there. Okay, just in the corner. I don't know if you can see. Just a little bit, just to soften it up some. And whoops, and I'm going to let that sit, and I get gouache everywhere. Let's see how this yellow does. Again, remove the jelly cup, otherwise it makes a huge mess. This one might be good. There's a little water still standing in there. I am really very happy with how well these are reconstituting. They're not lumpy. I think I caught it before they got so dry that they're lumpy. And that one is good. I'm not going to put any more water in that one. I'm very happy with it. Let's check out. I want to make sure my brush is really the end of my brush. I'm just using the end of an acrylic paintbrush. You could use a palette knife or whatever. I tend to use what's handy and then work to clean it. Let's check out this white. This, I mean, it looks like even that one I think, nope, that one's going to need more water. Yeah, that one's going to need more water. I think this one and this one are going to be fine. But putting a good bit in there. And we know that one was fine, that one was fine. Let's see. That one looks like it's going to be fine too. I think these are going to be okay. But I'm a little worried about this white. So again, let's make sure my brush is really clean. Pop the cup out. I promise, please pop the cup out. It makes a difference. The white is, to me, a little thick. There are no lumps. It's not clumpy or anything like that, because again, I caught it before it got to that point. But that's really quite thick. So I'm mixing it in, and it does look a little lumpy to me. So I am going to put in a little bit more water. Okay, that's a fair bit. I don't know if you can see the water puddling up, drying. Okay, and I'm going to leave that, and I will come back. I will come back tomorrow and let you see how these did that I had to add the extra water to. I'm going to put a little more. I think I want a little more. Nope, I did that already. Okay. And this one, I'll check them. I will come back. I've got water standing in this one. I have water standing in this one. I have water standing in this one. And I'm probably going to have water standing in this one, but I'll check it. So I'm reconstituting these. It's been a year, okay, since they've been opened, and they have not completely dried out, but they do need a little bit of help. So I will check back with you tomorrow and let you see how they look. Okay, I'm back, and it has been about 48 hours, so I didn't get back to them right away. And what I did was I stirred all of them up, and they reconstituted absolutely beautifully. These two I still need to, and it looks like there's a piece of plastic or fuzz plastic, and now I've got paint on my hands, but I did not mix those two up. I put water in them, and truthfully I went in and just poked holes all the way down to the bottom and kind of let the water get into the holes. And let's stir that up and see how it looks. So I'm going to grab a paintbrush and turn this around, and it's gorgeous. When I mixed up all these, whoops, and let me take it out. That was one thing that I wanted to share with you. When you are going to reconstitute these, there are a couple things that I found that were super helpful. This one, I think it got a little bit dry, but you can tell there might be a couple of lumps in it, but not a whole lot. And I actually think that if I were to add more water in, those would probably go away. So that's what it looks like, and there might be some lumps in it. I'm not sure. I'll find out when I'm working with it. It looks a little bit more clumpy than my others, but the things that I would suggest if you are going to reconstitute your Himi gouache, and by all means I would absolutely do that. The first thing is that I would take the cups out, because it's easier not to make a mess. And I think I'm out of frame, but what I'm doing is I get distracted easily, so it helps me if the pots are neat and tidy. Some people can work wonderfully, beautifully messy, and I think that's awesome. I'm just not one of them. So that one's reconstituted. I think we can get this one reconstituted. But again, take the pots out, add water, leave the water there, and poke holes so it can seep in. And this one is doing a great job as well. It's a little thick, So it is a possibility. This one doesn't even appear to be very clumpy at all. So this is after a year. But poke holes in it, let the water sit for 24-48 hours, come back, stir it, remove the cup when you do that, and make sure that you poke the holes so that it, all the way down to the bottom, so that it can reach everywhere in your gouache. And then when you're mixing, and this seems so obvious, but it wasn't to me. I'm sorry, I keep getting paper towels because I'm trying to tidy it up a little bit. It wasn't to me because I wasn't doing it, but make sure you're mixing all the way to the bottom, because you don't want to just mix the top layers and ignore the rest of your paint. But the Himi paint, it reconstituted absolutely beautifully. I am going to add, I think, a couple drops of water. This will spray. There we go. And then I'm not really using them right now, so I'm just giving it a light spray with water. I love these sprayers. They're from Delta, and yeah, I am thoroughly impressed with how well Himi reconstituted. Again, I did not touch them for an entire year, and they look nice and juicy. So let me know if you have any questions, and I wish you good luck with your Himi. Bye guys.